Good morning, everybody. This is Stacy Turner with our DMOpro Zoom. We're talking business incentives today. So we have one more week of this pretty incredible Strive for Five business incentive that Juice Plus has put out for us. So I'm curious how that's going for you guys. And it seemed like I put out some information, put out some things, and I got like four within a couple of days. And so there's one more that I'm working on to get that five. But I just want to encourage us with that because, the activity I did. So if you haven't started really putting out information or talking to your customers, like, don't think that there's not enough time because FOMO is a big thing, right? Like fear of missing out. People, if you say there's only 5 days, well, I guess it's 5 days to you. It's going to have to be your fear of missing out because it's the same price for customers. It's not like they're going to miss out on anything. Um, but that's just something to think about is have you really put the information and the effort out there? Again, don't think it's too late because I put info out and I got a bunch of orders or like four right away within a couple of days of each other. So today's the 21st. We still have till the 30th, 31st, however many days are in this month. So there's plenty of time, right? Like activity always gets results. So let's just move into the activity of that and making that happen. And I just think oftentimes we get busy and we think, okay, I'm going to do that later. All right, I'll put that out later. We want perfection. And so we don't make the post and we want the wording to be perfect. So we don't reach out to our customers or we just don't have the system in place to make that an easy process. And I just want to encourage you, like, again, systems are everything. And then really recording the results of that system as you put messages out. And if you're not writing down the people's names that, respond to you and ask you for information, how do you know who to circle back around to, right? So somewhere you've got to write that down. I'm hoping you're using the DMO planner, the notes section on your phone. I use both of those. And it's like without that, I would let so many conversations drop because you just forget who was it that I talked to and you just move on to the next conversation. I know I do, and sort of the next event and then the next event, and it's easy to drop the ball with that. So I know that that's going to be a rhythm of the company is different incentives. And if you guys have noticed, there have been quite a few sales, I would say, like I guess they are sales and since September where we never saw that before. Like Juice Plus never went on sale. They didn't have flash sales. They didn't have anything like that. And I really do believe that this is a new rhythm of the company of being able to put out a discount or different incentives for us or different discounts for the customers. And so we want to be ready and prepared to take action on those things and to move into activity with those. And so, again, I would say Project Broadcast has been the best tool that I have found to be able to actively reach a mass amount of people at one time and get the information out in one text message versus having to copy paste, and like go down a list of people. And once you get that set up and organized, I don't remember what the lowest amount is that you pay. I think I pay $80 a month now because I send out reminders for DMO Pro Zoom every month. So you get like so many credits, and then as you send out a text message, it counts it as a credit. So I've got to have considerable amount to be able to put out reminders and then to put out information to my team. But if you're a sales coordinator and above, you've got a significant amount of customers and you have some team members that have team members. Like without Project Broadcast, I don't know how I would stay connected to my team. And I'm talking like down six people that really their upline is just not as busy or not as active, and maybe they're not connected, but I can send out information to them. And I try not to like overdo it because one, I'm not all of their leader, right? Like they have somebody above them that's sending them something. I hope that there's something being sent out, but yeah, I know like right now really might not be. They might not be getting anything. And so if I can just stay in touch with them, they do swing back and they'll ask me a question. And then of course I try to connect with their upline and put us in a chat together and move the conversation forward together. But it's been an excellent way for me to stay in touch deep down, which I would never have been able to do that before, without this. And so it's worth it to take the time to get that set up. If you've got a team, if you've got, significant amount of customers, it really does help to automate that. And I don't remember what the cheapest, tier is with that, but to me, it is worth it. And again, Allison Porter teaches classes. I think she even might have some course that you buy and then you walk through on your own. I just watched videos on YouTube to figure out how to put contacts from Judy says it's 27 a month for the project broadcast, the lowest tier. I watch videos like how do you get content from a website to the project broadcast? How do you make tags? How do you make the different things? And it was worth the effort. It was sort of an like it's a learning curve, right? Like you're learning a whole new system. But now I know it and I understand it. Where if I had paid somebody else to do that, and there are people you can do that with, you can pay somebody to set the whole thing up for you and you don't have to do it. But because I did it myself, I understood how it worked. And then I'm able to go in and edit it. And I swear the first, year of having, to add new team members in or whatever, it was like I had to learn the whole thing over again, but now I feel like I finally have it. So I just cannot recommend that enough, to be able to send out those messages. And especially if you're doing booths and like trade shows and you're getting contacts, if you're doing sourdough classes and you're getting a bunch of contacts, again, there's no way I could invite all of them to an event and like probably 90% of those people would have just never even heard from me again, where they do stay on my list. And this last event I had quite a few people that said, like that have never responded before. And they said, oh, darn it, I really wanted to come to this and I'm out of town. We're going out of town for Easter. So I was like, no worries, we'll do it again. But again, they're watching, like if they don't see it on Facebook, they're watching at least those text messages and it's keeping me somewhat connected to them. And you just never know when timing is right for them, when they have a health crisis that finally makes them say, okay, I've got to do something. And they swing back around to you. They see a post that you've done on Facebook, like, and, anything with social media, like it's just continuing to put yourself out there. So Project Broadcast really has been one of the biggest helps to me. So I would encourage you, you've heard me say that again, but I really mean that because there's just no way I could put out information about a flash sale or about a incentive to my whole team or to all of my customers or to all of my, prospects. And if this is going to be part of the rhythm of the company, and I can tell you it is, then you're going to want to have a system in place that makes that easy for you to be able to put the information out there and have the biggest reach. So I highly, highly encourage that. So, taking advantage of what, company incentives, what they offer us really takes us being open at the very beginning. If it's already been decided, then you can't argue it in your head, right? Like, there's no point in saying, why did they do it this way? Or why didn't they include this? Or what was the point of that? Or what are they trying to do? Like, just it's out of our hands. We don't want to put energy towards something that we have zero control over. And especially if it's already done, it's already done. So then it's a matter of just embracing that. It's harder, I think, because we've not had sales before. This is a different way of doing business a little bit towards us, but it is sort of exciting when we get something that is a sale and you have something to offer extra for your customers, right? Or you have something to engage with your team over, such as the incentive of, this Strive for Five. So first, I would say let's just embrace that. Like it is what it is. Don't argue it. Don't be at war with that. And then decide, okay, I'm going to do this. And you're going to get resistance in your own mind over anyone else. Your upline is going to say, absolutely, let's go, let's do this. But you're the one that's going to say, but, and again, you're just arguing it for no reason, but you've got to decide, okay, I want to do this. And then if I'm going to do this, if I'm going to get these customers, if I'm, this Strive for Five, or if I want to offer this to my customers, one, again, systems have to be in place to make that easy for you that are effective. And then two, it's the activity, right? It's deciding I'm going to do it. And then, okay, let's move into activity. And again, we've got plenty of time this month to move into that activity and make things happen. So sending messages to specific people that canceled customers. We've talked about that before, like that they canceled because they got overrun by capsules, or maybe you have some customers that go from capsules to gummies to capsules and gummies, and they just can't decide which one they like. I had one of those gals at the women's retreat. I gave her a stick and she was like, oh, I'm definitely going to be switching to this next month. And so that was, I know her order's going to be coming up in May, and so she's wanting to switch to the superfood powders. But I thought of her because she does swap. She goes back and forth between, she kind of gets tired of both of them. And so I thought, I bet Sonia's going to like this. And she did. So thinking through your customer base, back through canceled customers, if you have old reports, you could kind of just go name by name. I have a bunch of old order forms that I haven't even dug into. Like there's so many people out there that have canceled just over the years, right? And I have all of those still that I could go back and personally message them. And if they happen to be in my project broadcast, which a lot of them are, I just moved them out of my customer section, then the customer tag, I could just make one message and then choose all of those people through my contacts and send it to them. Once you send it in Project Broadcast, then you can tag that group of people you just sent and you make a new tag. So you could call it canceled customers as of this date. And then you would have all of those people to swing back around to later. And if they don't opt out, then you're still in contact with them. As of right now, they're all sitting in my folder over there. They're getting no attention. So some attention could be, positive, right? None is going to definitely get no results. So that's an idea, swinging back to those canceled customers, maybe even customers you've lost since September that have just were frustrated with the system, or canceled and said, I'll come back later. They got overstocked. Like you just never know what's happened in someone's life that they're going to be ready to jump back in. And I'm telling you, social media is a great way to stay in the loop with people. I have a gal that messaged me about becoming a team member. She ordered in January with the reset. Again, if I had not engaged with the reset and really been posting out there, she was a return customer probably from 8 years before, maybe even longer than that. She just saw the post that I was doing, and then she ordered in January, and then she sent me a message and said, hey, can we talk about becoming a partner again? Like, what does that entail? And I had no idea, like, why was she interested? And so we're going to be talking this Friday. So again, just putting stuff out there, it's all those little conversations, all those posts that you think, is this even mattering? Does anyone see any of this? Like, I don't have a ton of engagement on those, right? Like, it's mostly Juice Plus partners which I'm grateful for all the comments and likes because it does help with those algorithms, but you just never know who's watching. So, that Strive for Five, I think also understanding like what's your why for that $500? What do you want to do with that? Like kind of paint a vision for that. For me, I thought this morning, like, what is it? What I need one more. Who is that? Like I have a couple of people that are just kind of sitting on that link and they're not moving forward with it. So again, it's gonna be my job to swing back around to follow up with them. But and the easy thing is you can just ask them, hey, did that link work for you? And then if it does, then they'll say, "Oh, I forgot, I haven't finished it up." That's what I asked one girl, and she was like, "Oh, I just haven't. I got distracted and I didn't finish it." And I was like, "Go finish it." No, I didn't. I was like, oh, totally understand. I'm like that too, But that's an easy way is, hey, did that link work for you? But what do you want that money for? I remember I was thinking this morning and I was like, oh, both of my girls are moving into a new house and then a new apartment. And I love buying decorations. I'm like such a sucker for that. The girls know if there's something cute decor wise, and we're going to be, working on these two little apartment and house together. I know I'm going to want to buy, something, a lot of somethings. And so I was like, that would be just fun money to have that I don't have to think like, where's like which account is that going to come out of? Like it's just fun money to be able to spend to help the girls get some cute decorations. So I was like, yes, that is a total motivation for me. Has nothing to do with me, right? Like it's not something that I need or even want, but the fun of being able to go with them and say, okay, here's 250 bucks. What do we want to buy? Bar stools? Do we want mirrors? Do we want like what's this going to go towards? And I just think it'll be super fun. And they don't know that I'm going to do that. So it just brings me joy to be able to do that too. So think about what something that brings you joy that you would be able to use that money for. Maybe it's for something for yourself. It's something you've wanted some new decorations for the house. Maybe you want new pillows. Maybe you need a new mattress. And there's some good mattresses even for 500 bucks. If you're wanting to know, I've got some that we bought for the Airbnb that have been excellent. Maybe it's something for somebody else. Maybe it's a family that needs new tires. You could buy one tire for them for their car for $500. What is that if you it really always goes back to mindset, right? So that's part of it too. It's like, why would I want to do this? What am I going to use the money for? And then you chase after that. You're not chasing after people, right? You've got to talk to enough people to have a broad number of conversations going and links out there so that you will get five that come in. And these need to be five new customers, which makes it even more challenging. A new customer means they have never had a profile, an email profile. So if it's a husband and wife and the wife orders and the husband's ready, you have to make it under the husband's name and his email. So keep that in mind, which it's doable, right? Like you just have to remember, hey, remember his is under his email account. But and yes, and Patty says, and older than April 2024. So if they like they have to not have an account set up, basically, is the easy way to look at that. So your new partners do count towards that. So if you have a new partner and they order the superfoods, that counts for one of yours. So don't get discouraged with that if a partner comes in. And I was like, there were some weird things happened, like one of my partners, we don't have control over what orders they put in, right? She put in a trio order and then she put in the superfood order. And technically that wouldn't count because the superfood order wasn't first. And on that leadership council, I was like, no, like, come on, guys. You got to work with us on this. And so in the end, Skylar did say, look, if you have a weird situation like that, we want to work with you. Talk to your regional director, let them know the situation, and we'll work with you guys on that. So yes, there are rules because it's $500, right? Like that's a significant amount of money. And the point is, let's get new people into the program. And I was like, they are a new people. It just happened to be the way that they put the order in. I had no control over that. And so they recognize that. And Skylar said that they will work with us on something weird like that. But it can't be, you know, it can't be far outside of the realm of what a new order is. Like, just keep moving forward. And so I have one of those, but I should have five, but I'm going to keep working to get one more. I don't want to ask for an exception. I just want to keep doing it and make it happen. But if it comes to that, right? So let's just keep striving, keep working towards that. Are you guys keeping them in your purse? Again, excellent way to have start a conversation with someone. If you go to lunch or coffee with people, like everybody gets a stick, you get a stick, you get a stick mix. Like it's great to start conversations with, okay, you guys tell me last 10 days, let's just say 10 days of this incentive. What's your plan? What are you working on? Do you have people out there with links? Where are you guys at with all of this?
Stacy, I'll go. I've been keeping a spreadsheet, but I also have, and I think I mentioned this before, Project Broadcast is amazing. But for those that don't use Broadcast something, I would encourage you to start doing because it's, so easy to do. Nikki Cotton showed us this years ago. For those of you that have an iPhone, oh no, I have to
Put
unblur
it
my
right
back.
where it's your face.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Try that again. Is it working? No. But in your contacts, if you put in your contact, when you where it asks where they work, or I think that's where if you put prospect in there or Juice Plus customer, I can pull up, 20, 50 prospects right away and I can just go down the list. And that has been my easiest go-to. So for me, that's what I'm hitting. I love this DMO call because it really gets me back on track. So thank you for that, Stacy. But that's my goal today is to do all that.
Yeah. So Patty's got a system, right? Like whatever your system is, get a system. And you can say, I'm not an organized person, or you can get organized. Like pay somebody to organize you, then find a way, but you can stay unorganized and keep using that as a crutch, or you can find a way to get organized to make your life easier. I'm telling you, you'll love it. You'll be so happy that you have some sort of a system, because it makes business easier, and then you're less likely to procrastinate. Patty knows I have a way to find these people, and she's not thinking every time there's an incentive or every time there's something that she wants to, put out to people, oh, I have to create a system. Like create the system, find what that is for you, and then just move into that activity. So Patty's ahead of the game because she's already there, right? So it's going to make stepping into that activity this week work for her. And that's an easy one. That's a free one. Like go in through your contacts and look at them and mark them as customers, prospects, team members, whatever that looks like, so that you can easily search for that. So that's great, Patty. Thank you. Who else would like to share?
Oh, I can give a couple other ideas. Um, okay, so those of you who have 20 to 50 customers, I would say, definitely make a Gmail contact list. And when you send out emails, blind copy everybody. Don't just copy them because people don't like to have their emails in bunches and then they'll refuse the email. So blind copy them. Um, I've got my 10 this month, so um, I did 5 last month, and then I have 4 more carts going out. So what I've done is I've talked to a lot of people that have canceled, and before August last year, I downloaded my address book, so I have a ton of contact. I can't even tell you how many contacts I have, but I do better, and I think people appreciate it better if I reach out to them personally. And so I just a generic post, and then I just change the top name. I don't recreate it unless it's something very specific. How are you doing since your dad died or whatever, something like that. I try to I try to make one personal point in that text to people. So basically what I'm saying is you're not going to believe it. I just wanted to let you know I don't want to leave you out of the loop that we have a powder now that you can put in water. And I had like 5 customers last month, no problem. It was like no problem. So yes, I agree, Stacy. Project Broadcast is a learning curve, and I did it for a month, and I just like there was just too much going on in my family at the time, so I couldn't. So as long as you have other ways of doing things, some people really love, everything digitally. I do digitally, and I have it on paper. There's a lot of NMDs that have been around a long time that still use paper. Stacy's a big proponent for that. She has a wonderful GMO planner, so GMO planner. So I think that whatever your style is, do it. What your style is. You don't have to do something because everybody else is doing it. You got to
Right.
be yourself in this thing, really, for sure.
And Alita, that's such a great reminder. Like email does work. Email does work. Jared just paid a guy and he's going to create like this whole new, this email system for attracting new clients or customers to his gasket business. And, it's like an email marketing campaign guy. Like it's still a thing. I get frustrated with email, but it still works. I will still read the ones that, have it grab my attention. I still look at email every day, and there's a lot of people that do communicate well with that. So I like what you said, Alita, about making it personal to them. Can you tell us where most of the people that ordered, especially because you've got 10, which is fantastic, are they canceled customers? Are they, returning customers? What would you say the majority of
Okay,
those are?
so what about one? Let's see, one, two, three of them were just off a post off my personal page. So I followed up with them immediately before it was actually brought out. So I just right away, I followed up with them and I said, "You'll be the first on my list. You'll be the first five that we get to have five." You know what I mean? They don't know what we're doing. I just changed my words. um, that was those three. One of them, her brother's been taking Juice Plus in Florida from me for probably 16 years, but I never met her. So we reconnected and found out that she had her grandfather was somebody I met in my 20s. The next one was somebody who I knew the family a long time ago, and she reached out and I said, "Were you interested in the Juice Plus, or were you just being supportive?" So that gives them the opportunity to says, "No, I just really love what you're doing. It's okay." And I'm like, "Thank you so much for being supportive. I love it when people post like that sounds great or something like that." So I reach out to them. So a lot of times people will like your posts. Don't let those likes go away. Go right in and say, "Hey, were you interested in what I was offering, or were you just being supportive?" Because they will often respond to that. And then that third one let me see, I'm trying to think now. I had to write them all down yesterday because it was like, because I sent all of them a package of our samples. So when I sent the package of samples, which were 2 shakes, a gummy, postcard, something cool that I got from Juice Plus a long time ago, and then Illuminate stick. So that was a total of it was $6 to ship it. So it cost me about $15 for that client, okay, for that customer, which I think is a lot better than I gave my granddaughter $100 just because she's my granddaughter. I would have probably paid for it anyway, but I like the fact that she paid for it. So she goes, "Nona, you didn't have to do that. We can do that ourselves." So now I know that she's in because I wanted her to have some skin in the game. She's been taking it since she was 2, and now she's married. So she sponsored her husband because they're young. And let me see what some of the other ones. A couple other ones took Juice Plus for a while, and I still have a relationship with him. So I invited him to the sauerkraut event, and he absolutely loves Illuminate. Bought 3 boxes on the spot, and so he likes the superfoods. But I just found out that if you want their wife or even their 8 kids to get on the superfoods, you have to have each one of them has to have a separate email for that to count. So just remember that, you guys. I my daughter has 9 kids, and I'm like, there's no way that she's gonna put 9 emails in her email. A lot of men don't even want to have emails; so they want their wife to handle everything.
Yeah.
So just for this incentive, that's the way it goes. What I would do in that situation is cancel it after 4 months and then put with their preferable way they like to take it, and then just put everything in the wife's email account.
Yeah. And Alita, moving forward, from what I understand, is all incentives will be dictated by the email of the person. So you're right. Like you can always just cancel and move it back. Just make some sort of note in your phone or in a
Yeah.
reminder or whatever to help that customer remember to do that. And if it's in the husband's name, then that will be helpful because you'll know, okay, probably put it in his email address. So, make the account for him. Um, Alita, you said that you sent that as like a thank you gift, the shakes and the Luminate and everything is a thank you to those that ordered. I had outside of the ones that ordered and got the box that had the shaker bottle and the whisk, I sent them a whisk from Amazon and they're I think $7. And then I had two that I forgot to tell them, hey, I'm sending you a little gift. And then they got it and they sent me a message and they're like, do you know, like, what is this with? Like, does this have anything? And I was like, oh, yeah, I forgot to tell you. I sent that to you. And they were like, oh, I love it. And it really does make a difference in the consistency, either to shake it versus stir it or to whisk it together. So you want your customers to have a good experience with it too. And so she loved it that way. So that's another little gift
Yeah.
you can
You
send.
can
And
if you put bulk on Amazon, you'll be able to get them really reasonable. And I got the orange ones so that it would kind of like they'd kind of have that memory, you know. I did ask Skylar on whether or not they were going to continue the promotion for the people that had it, and he said they were talking about it. Um, uh, yeah, I like having the frother there. The other thing too, when they did cancel it, those people that month got the gift. I didn't know that. So all of them, I didn't tell them they were going to get the gift because it canceled like towards the end of March. They didn't have any more. They told us they ran out. But all of those people got the gift, which is really neat. And even the people in the first 2 weeks, in the first week of April, got their gift.
yeah.
So that was neat.
I just, if you order it from um, Amazon, Amazon ships it for free, right? So I
Right.
didn't have them shipped to me and then I shipped them. I just got their address from their
That's great.
order and then I just shipped it right there. So I picked a color I thought that they would like or whatever. But
That's
yeah,
great. That's
and
great.
then you don't have to pay shipping twice. I mean, you can't
Yes.
include the other things, right, with the shakes and all of that. But I think any sort of little gift, especially when we're getting 100 and whatever for each customer, because we're getting our commission off of them as well, right? Commission and sales profit. So it's a pretty significant, payout to us. It's an easy gift back to them, and it will help them. It'll stick in their mind. They'll remember that little
Yeah.
little edge of a gift. So I think, yeah, just again, find your system, find your rhythm, find what works for you. And if you're like, I will never do project broadcast, so I can never do Juice Plus as a business, you've missed the point. Like, don't worry about that. Just find something that works. Like, you've got to find something. And if what you're doing now isn't working, then keep finding something else. There is some system that will work for you, but procrastination is really perfectionism. If you guys remember that, it's just a little costume that's wearing, but it's telling you you don't have a system, you're not good at organizing, there's no way you can contact everyone, so let's just have another cup of coffee. And we don't want that. We want to help as many people as we can, so let's find a way. I hope you guys found this information helpful. If you've got other verbiage that you've been using, if you guys want to put some of that verbiage in there, I like what Alita said is, when somebody likes it, are you interested? Are you just being supportive? That's a great one. Anything else you guys are sending out, put it in our DMO Voxer chat so that we can all just, copy and paste that and use that information because we all learn from each other. And you're going to think of something like, I hadn't thought of that. I know that there's people that I could go back on those links and just see, did they actually order? If you have Tim, then looking at who's ordering the superfood, I was able to catch one of our new team members. She put an order under her name and an email, another under her name with a different email, her son's with his email, her husband's with his email, and then she thought the fifth one, it was a third serving. Like, I don't even know if that's going to count. Like, is the company going to notice that she has two in her first name? Like, I didn't tell her to do that, right? she's just doing that. But I don't want that to not count. And she thinks it in her head it does. And then she's frustrated because she doesn't get $500, right? So I'm telling her, let's find actual customers. We don't want you buying all of this product. Like she has to pay for all of that. And then say, see, these companies, they don't work. You have to buy all this product and nobody makes any money. Well, that's not how we said to do business at all. You just kind of decided to go that way, but we didn't direct you towards that. So it's our job as leaders to watch what's happening in our team and to see that and then dig in a little bit with them. And I was able to put her and her upline into a chat and just say, hey, this is what I'm seeing. Do you guys need some direction with this? This one's not going to count because it's the 30 servings, and I'm not sure about these two. They are in different emails, but it is the same name. Like, let's help get you some customers. Who have you been talking to? Who can we help you share information with? This is a great video for that, and helping her actually get customers because she's going to need actual customers to get to partner or to QSC, right? So, and I mean, her son is an actual customer. Just I think he lives with them still. But let's be mindful of what our team is doing. I saw another team member that had three. I was able to cheer her on and say, "You've got three. We just need two more. How can I help support you in there? This is a great video that you could send some people. Have you thought about contacting your canceled customers?" And that information is on the back office. So if you're still thinking no information is on the back office, we can't access anything, that was before it. This is now. There are ways to access that information. And I know Wendy McGlon is doing some walkthroughs, but it's under reports, under like team under report center. And then there's options to look at like orders that were placed this month, downline new orders, stuff like that. Like you got to filter through those and find the one. And then in the column filters, you type in what you're wanting it to look for. So you could type in superfood powders under product, and then it will show everybody underneath you that has placed a superfood product and order. And
Oh, that I was gonna, sorry to interrupt. The other thing I was going to say is that when you sign up somebody for the superfoods, I usually, and I have to kind of sense where they're at when I'm talking with them. I don't know this if this is for you, but if you choose to partner with me, then just let me know by the end of the month and I will move your order underneath you. Now, I still get credit for that. And if they wanted to do the Strive for Five, they would have to put their own five other orders in. But they're like, oh, okay, because I want you to get credit for your own order. And they really like that. They think that's a really like, wow, that's really integrity, you know?
yeah.
So it's just that extra option of making sure that you offer the business to everybody also.
Yeah, absolutely. That's where we get team guys. If you don't invite, if you don't ask, if you don't offer, you will not build a team. Like very rarely does somebody come to me and say, I want information about being on your team. I had this gal that did, but that's not the norm. The norm is me saying, "Hey, I want to include you. Like, come on along. Let's do this together. Who could we help together? I would love for you to get credit for this. You're ordering multiple products. You seem to love Juice Plus. Maybe you want to do what I do." It's verbiage like that that you're inviting them to come join you. They don't know how this works, and they're going to have questions, and that's great, but like we need a place to direct them. So I'm going to stop the recording, but if you want to stay on, I will show you how you can find those superfood powders for your customers. I just don't want to record it now because it actually has names and that kind of stuff. But thank you guys for being on. I hope this was helpful, and you guys have a great week.